Kibrilam laka betsian, Ixiabiye masgan. Negustrada sa Ethiopian, Ixiabiye masgan. Leoleam lak madanielam, Ixiabiye masgan. Tafarai Rastafari Selassie, Ixiabiye masgan. Ixiabiye masgan. Ixiabiye masgan. Ixiabiye masgan. Kibrilam laka betsian, Ixiabiye masgan. Negustrada sa Ethiopian, Ixiabiye masgan. Leoleam lak madanielam, Ixiabiye masgan. Tafarai Rastafari Selassie, Ixiabiye masgan. Ixiabiye masgan. Ixiabiye masgan. Kibrila amla kabesian, Ixiabiye masgan. Negustrada sa Ethiopian, Ixiabiye masgan. Leoleam la madanielam, Ixiabiye masgan. Tafarai Rastafari Selassie, Ixiabiye masgan. Kibrilam laka betsian, Ixiabiye masgan. Negustrada sa Ethiopian, Ixiabiye masgan. Leoleam lak madanielam, Ixiabiye masgan. Tafarai Rastafari Selassie, Ixiabiye masgan. Kibrilam laka betsian, Ixiabiye masgan. Negustrada sa Ethiopian, Ixiabiye masgan. Leoleam lak madanielam, Ixiabiye masgan. Tafarai Rastafari Selassie, Ixiabiye masgan. Ixiabiye masgan. Ixiabiye masgan. Ixiabiye masgan. Kibrilam laka betsian, Ixiabiye masgan. Negustrada sa Ethiopian, Ixiabiye masgan. Leoleam lak madanielam, Ixiabiye masgan. Tafarai Rastafari Selassie, Ixiabiye masgan. Ixiabiye masgan. Ixiabiye masgan. Ixiabiye masgan.
Yes, greetings, greetings to each and every one. Yes, my name's Sister Nkechi the WarriorQueen, and we are pleased to announce that we're here for the Roots Feast music show. Before we proceed anyway, we're going to give thanks to Poser Bless and to Ras Saba, who was on earlier tonight. Give thanks. Been a bit busy, so I wasn't able to listen, but I'm sure you all did, and I'm sure you all had a great time. So give thanks for your fellow presenters of Real Music FM. Everybody works really hard to be in the right place at the right time, and making sure we contact all of our listeners and our people, our interviewees, etc., so that they can be here with us and we can share them with you. So give thanks, Posa Bless and Ras Saba, and also the management of realmusicfm.com, AB Creation, Baba, John, etc. Love. Hope to see you all soon. Right, I'm very pleased to say we have Vivian Jones here with us tonight, and he's going to be basically an audience. It's an interview, but we're going to just be sharing music. That's what we're going to be doing today. So we look forward to that vibration. For now, I'm just going to play one of his tunes as he's just, getting himself ready to come into the studio. So I'm going to play here, Daughters of Zion. Yes, welcome, and welcome to all the listeners who've already joined us. Give thanks.
Zion, we're going home. Daughters of Zion, we're going home. It's daughters of Zion, yeah. We're going home. We're going home. We're going home. Yes, we're going home.
Daughters of Zion, Vivian Jones. We've got him coming into the studio, just getting himself ready. Meanwhile, we're just going to play a little music just to keep the vibration going. This is the Real Music FM Roots Feast music show with myself, Sister Nkechi the WarriorQueen. Greetings and love to each and every one. Listen to this.
World cry now. World cry when the Empress got them too now.
Yes, Yes, greetings, greetings. Greetings to each and everyone out here. As promised, here is Vivian Jones.
Yes.
Greetings.
Respect.
Welcome.
You hear me? Can you hear me?
Might have to put it up a bit.
Yeah. 1, 2, check. Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, we didn't even get a chance to do a sound check.
Yeah.
But just play with that. That's the one that controls that.
All right.
And
Cool.
all that. I know
Cool.
you're probably better at recording all these things than I am. So you can just play with whatever you need to play with there.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. Just go and bust some tune.
Okay, right. So we're just gonna. I've got kind of a little lineup of tunes that I'd like to play with you. For you, yeah. So I'm just gonna go through them, and I'm gonna be asking you about them.
Yeah, but just before you do that, you know,
Okay.
let me just take a time out to say greetings and respect to everyone tuning. You know, Real FM, we're good.
Real Music FM.
Yeah, Real Music FM. See, so bless up. Yeah, man, and thanks for having me. Yeah.
Yes. Well, we're very glad that you managed to come and grace us with your presence.
Yeah, you know it's all in the works, you know.
Yeah. So this one, because it's all about music, so this feels like a really good place to start, because you're inviting us in this tune to come and dance to your music.
Yeah.
So I'm going to play it, and then I'm going to let you tell us a little bit about it, or do you want to do it the other way around?
Well, you just go and run it. I'm at the people
Okay.
here somewhere.
Okay.
You know?
They'll be saying it, we can't hear. For communication. That's what's recording us. This is just what we're seeing on Facebook. That's what we're seeing on Facebook.
Children, my friend.
Okay, Mr. Vivian Jones has got a massive catalogue of music. I thought I was going to play a few, but as I was looking at everything, I thought, wow, we might need about 3 shows. I don't think even 2 shows is enough, really.
Yeah, man,
So we're going to shorten things a little bit. But tell us about that one. That sounds like one of your early ones.
Yeah, this song here was one of my first recording, studio work recording. You know, with them time they had a band called Mighty Vibes. And this was our first recording, you know. And when... Okay, yeah. Good. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, you know, this was our first recording. So, you know, we booked the studio and paid for the studio and everything, and we went in there and we did a few songs, and this was one of them, a major one, you know.
So that was one of the first ones?
Yeah, this was my first recording in the studio properly, you know.
Yeah. That's what it felt like. It felt like you were just inviting us to, you know, on this journey that you've actually taken us on ever since, really.
Yeah.
That's why I thought I'd play that one first of yours, you know.
Man. Jam music, great song.
Wow.
Man.
Okay, so I'm just gonna take you through. I'm gonna play this one next. Happy with that one?
Go and play, man.
Right.
Anything you play, you know, my song, so you know what I
mean? Flash it and go on, me operator. Play for me. Flash it and go on, me operator. Play it cause it's sweet. Rhythms rocking, hydrants at the control. Tamos rocker, all of them were there. Man, don't stop, not a bottle or a cup. Your mojo rocking, it's crucial. Don't stop, it's crucial. Hear the dread ball out there. Flash it and go on, me operate. Do it for me, do it for me. Flash it and go on, me operate. And this your dance is no skin out. Them going there right on time. Just is rocking them, the people them a sing them a song, them a hear for a long time. Here comes the jet again, them have to join. So hear the people say, hear them all out say, flash it and go on, me operate. Do it for me, do it for me. Flash it and go on, me operate. Play it cause it's lit. Do it for me now, do it for me. Flash it and go on, me operate. 7 o'clock in the morning, neighbor a screw. And through the drum of bass so tight. And then the people them feel right. Draw hope slam off from a top. We come and do it again. Hear them sing, say flash it and go on, me operate. Do it for me, do it for me. Flash it and go on, me operate. One go tweet, one go tweet. Flash it and go on, me operate. Go on. Flash it and go on, me operate. On the dance of the broad daylight. Flash it and go on, me operate. Your mate him says what is that? Flash it and go on.
So, Vivian Jones, tell me what this tune is all about. And when was this one built and performed, and what was it all about?
Alright, this was 1984, you know, and I was in a dance one night in a North London with Java sound system, and Java them was playing some quality tunes and thing, you know. So therefore it's like I get the vibe and you know them call me and say, yo, Vivian Jones, take the mic and thing, you know. So I take the mic and this is what I sing off of the top of my head in the dance the night.
So what made you sing this?
Well, if you listen to the tune I say flash it and go on, me operator.
Yeah.
You know, and them time we used to say flash it and go on, you know, flash it. You know?
Okay.
So it's like me I tell the sound system, the operator,
just
the
play.
selector say flash it and go on, you know. So by me singing that in the dance, I went to Rough Cut Studio the next night, and you know, them give me some rhythm and say, well boy, them I like me voice some tune. So and this was one of the first rhythm them give me. And just because the vibe was so great at the Java dance, you know, you always remember, you always remember a great dance, or you always remember a vibe that you have in that dance. You know, so I remember that vibe there, and we just decided to go and vice it on this rhythm here, what Rough Cut give me, and yeah man,
Yes.
that's the...
Wow. So
it.
it's all just kind of grown really organically, hasn't it? It feels as if you haven't premeditated anything.
Natural
It's all
thing.
just grown in a natural way.
Natural vibes, because sometimes, you know, you might go into the studio and you get a vibe, and as long as the rhythm is there, you know, you can just do it, boom, like that, because my songs are reality songs, so therefore it's like whatever, you know, is going on around me or whatever, I can just sing it because I've seen it or it's happened. So it's in my mind, you know. So it's like an elder once told me early back in the days when I started singing, say, you know, you is a conscious youth, you know. So you what now, all you have to do is open your mouth, and what inside of you will come out, you know. And that is so true. Because
yeah, but it's a bit more than that, because you have to get it. You've got to get it to fit into the music. You've got to get it to rhyme. You've got to get it to sound good. You've got to make sure your voice is on point. So not all of us can do that. You have to admit it's not something that all of us can do very well.
Well, it's not everyone meant to be a great footballer, or a great cricketer, or a great singer, or a great musician. You know? It's not everyone get that gift. But once the Father give that gift, you know what I mean, it's you for work it. You know, like I remember times when, in the early days when I started to sing, sometimes I listen to my voice and I never really too like my voice. That's when I started singing into microphones, when I started recording. You know, but before recording, even as a youth growing up in Jamaica, people in my neighborhood, them know me as I always singing. I'm walking down the road, I'm singing. I'm going to the shop. Grandma send me to the shop, I'm singing. You know, so even one of the elders, them used to call me, sing it, you know. Because I always sing. And when I came to England, it was a different thing, because people look at you like you're mad if you walk down the road and I sing. You know, so, yeah,
you're not allowed to do that in this country.
But in Jamaica, it was a natural thing, you know.
Right, so it's interesting that you say you didn't like your voice in the early days, because I've actually got a few Lovers tunes. Did you start off with Lovers? Or no, actually no, because that Come Make Me Dance, that's not really Lovers, that's just a reality. So you kind of groove both types of music?
Yeah, but hold on, you see the thing about the music thing, it's only people come title the thing as
this or that.
Lovers or Roots, you know.
Yeah.
Because if one was to take a look at all the great Jamaican artists, them reggae artists, them,
they sung everything.
They sung everything, you know what I mean? It wasn't like a Lovers thing and a Roots thing, it was just music,
actually,
you know?
you sing everything. You know, I've been told that I'm always playing Vivian Jones tunes, but the thing is, because I do my show in themes and feelings about whatever's going on around, then when I'm selecting, there's always a Vivian Jones tune that is relevant to that. You know, so I have to pick it out because it's a good tune that's relevant to the situation. So there's something for everything.
As I always say, everything is natural for me.
So I'm going to play one of your early ones.
Yeah.
It's called "It's a Heartache." I'm going to play it, and I'm going to ask you about it. I'm going to play it. Yes, I'm going to play that one.
Yeah, that's a real one, you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask you all about that one. Where is it now? Oh, here it is. Yeah.
cover song, you know that?
Yeah, I know the original version.
Bonnie Tyler.
Nothing but a fool's game. Standing in the cold rain, feeling like a clown. It ain't right to love to share. When you find she doesn't care, except for you. Baby, that's true. It ain't right to love someone as much as I depended on, say on you. Baby, that's true. Yeah, 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 and it's a and it's a heartache. Nothing but a heartache. It's when you're too late. It's when you're down. And it's a
So, you know, like I said, we're rushing through this, so I'm going to take that down. So, first of all, it's interesting that you said that your voice was, you didn't like your voice, because that voice is sweet. So, that's your young man voice.
Yeah, man, that's a very young voice.
How old are you about then?
I think I might have been about 70, 80.
Oh, so young.
You know?
Oh, okay, so tell me more about that tune then.
Yeah, well, this was when we get the opportunity to go in the studio with a producer, you know? And, yeah, man, I'm hold it, man. Because I can't bother with too much of it. Yeah. Yeah, this song was when we get the opportunity to go in a studio. A producer, you know, decided to go and give it a chance and carry in the studio to do some tunes. And again, we did about 4 songs. And this one was released on a 7-inch. You know, I'm sure this was before in the 80s. I think this was like 78, 79, something like that. And this was a song that when I was at school, this song was like #1 in the national charts by a singer by the name of Bonnie Tyler. You know, and them days, you know, we heard a lot of pop music because there wasn't much reggae playing on radio and things like that. So therefore, you know, and me personally, you know, if I like a song, I would just sing it. You know, and this was one of them pop songs that used to play on the radio, and I know it, so I just sing it and thing. And in the end, I decided I'm going to record this song, you know, record a reggae version of it. And we went in the studio with the musician them, and but we rehearsed this before, and when we went into the studio, we just lick it, you know. And one take recording, and that was it. After that, you know, we just producer put it out, and that's it, you know. Did quite well as well, you know.
Yes. So it got into the reggae charts?
Yeah, this was in the reggae charts, and this was one of my first songs that really get into the reggae charts, because I don't remember jam music being in the charts, although it did very well, you know. But I remember this going in the charts somewhere like 20 or something like that. You know?
Okay. So I'm going to play next one called, I don't know if this is actually the right title, so you might have to correct me, but I've got it down as Rock Me Woohoo.
No, there's no woo on it, it's just rock me.
There's a part in there where you go woohoo.
Yeah, but it's just
to remind me, you know?
It's just rock me.
Okay. Let me play this one.
No, this was a big hit for me.
Oh, sorry.
Steady.
So you heard the woo-hoo-y bit?
Yeah, you know.
I like that bit.
Yeah, man, it's all natural, you know.
Yeah, so again, that young voice.
Yeah.
So high.
Yeah, because sometimes, you know, I sing in a falsetto voice. Sometimes I sing in a falsetto voice, and sometimes it's just natural voice, you know. But the thing about it is that I never really know say I could have really sing out in this voice style until I heard Junior Mervyn singing Police and Thief, and I was always singing that song. Every time I play, I just sing that song, the Police and Thief, and so it ended up that you know, I decided I'm going to try and sing a song like that. But before that, you know, I sang a song called Good Morning, and Good Morning was my first #1, and that was also in a falsetto voice. So, you know, every now and again I feel like, say, well, boy, I want to use my falsetto voice, you know, and I used it like even a couple of years ago, and that song has not been released yet, which is going to be released soon, not by me. I done that for another producer. So, you know, yeah, man, I always like to test myself and see if, you know, I can really do the things them like I did when I was a youth with the voice, you know, because I try to keep my voice in a good condition, and the best way to keep your voice in a good condition as a singer is to look after your body, look after your health, you know, them ways there.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So what do you do towards looking after your health and your voice and everything? What do you actually do?
Make sure I don't eat rubbish. Most of all, you know, I'm doing a little exercise, you know, and them things there, but don't eat no rubbish and don't take drugs. Yeah.
Good. So, seeing that you mentioned Good Morning, we might as well have a little play and have another listen to that beautiful falsetto voice.
Yeah, man, jaw faith, man.
Okay. Seems a little bit rude to turn the music down, but obviously this is an interview, so we want to know a bit more about this music.
Yeah.
So when was this one when did you produce this one, and how old were you?
This was recorded in 1978.
Wow.
And it never released until 1979. And it got to #1 December 1980. 1979 flowed into 1980. So some people have it as a number one from 1980, but it was number one from 1979, and it went over into...
Was that number one in the reggae charts?
Yeah, man, on the reggae charts, and all the other artists, everybody was behind me. And I want to tell you something about this song. This song here, it was Sugar Minor was at number one with a song called African Girl. And
I know that one.
yeah, and he was at number one for about 3 months. Nobody can move this song. And I was at number 2 for about 3 months. And eventually, Good Morning went to number 1, you know, and took over Sugar Minor. And when I met Sugar Minor, he mentioned it to me that Vivian Jones, he said, Vivian Jones, you're great, you know, man. Are you take me from number 1, you know? And I said, yeah, man. And, you know, from that, we got on so well, and Sugar Minor was one of the most greatest human beings, I can say, you know. I'm not talking about man, I say one of the greatest human beings. As a brother who show you love and respect and things like that. So, you know, yeah, man, big up the great one.
So he was based here, wasn't he?
For a while, he was here in England, you know.
Yeah.
And he made a lot of music here in England also.
As well as?
As in Jamaica, he made a lot of music when he came to England. You know, because Sugar Minor really enjoyed him. Him just love, man of my own heart, you know, him just love the music, you know. Never really put himself in front of the music. He always loved the music.
Okay, so right now we're going through the earlier tunes. How does it feel listening back at them?
Yeah, well, it's a heartache. So, a long time I haven't heard that song, so that one, you know, touched me away. Yeah, but yeah, man, the Good Morning. Good Morning is such a special tune, it's such a rare tune because I saw it on one of these sites for sale, you know, and it was something like £400.
Wow.
You know, we didn't make that money when we made this song.
No, we weren't.
Yeah,
We're just doing it for the love, isn't it?
That's right, and we're still doing it for the love.
So I'm going to play another one, and this next one is called One of These Days. Yeah. Okay, let's let people hear it, then I'm going to ask you a bit more about that one.
Yeah.
That tune's got everything, absolutely everything in it.
Yeah,
It's got voice, it's got vibes, it's got rhythm, it's got creativity, and it's got word sound. Tell us all about that tune.
Yeah, man, this was about 1982, you know? And it was a great vibe in the studio again, you know? It's like we spend our money and we go in the studio and we like to go in the studio them days, we just go in there to have fun, you know? Sometimes we never know what we're going to do inside the studio. It's when we get there and, you know, every man ready and, you know, we just get a bill of vibes, and this was one of the songs then. This was one of the songs then. But this song was, I wrote this song here before we went to the studio. So it's just, while we in the studio, we just lick up the rhythm feet, you know.
But that rhythm, the way it starts, tell me a bit more about that. That start's really unique. You know, a lot of the tunes these days, they don't have that kind of, you know, experimental type of creativity that a lot of these tunes I'm hearing we're playing today have. You know, that interesting beginnings and build up even before you start singing.
Yeah, well, you know, we learn from the foundation of the music, you know. So growing up in the 70s, we everyone we was listening to was some great artists them days there, you know. And we learned from them. We learned from the original Wailers. You know, we learned from the great Delroy Wilson. Well, I learned that way there, you know, because, and we used to know all of the drummers who played on the songs then. We used to know all the drummers, the bass player. We could recognize the bass line and recognize who played that bass line there just by listening to it. You know, because them days there, the musician them was so great that, you know, anytime them play something, boy, you know, said, boy, a Family Man play that, you know, or a Carlton play that, or a
So
Santa.
they put their unique flavour into it.
Yeah, and that was how the music is. You know, we never really had to struggle to find vibes, because the vibes was always there. You know, every artist them days there. You know, even some artists we might even them don't have such a famous name or whatever, but when you hear for them tune and thing, you know, and we always, with my youth band them that I come to, we always listen to these great musicians and thing. Even with like there was a time when we anything will come out of Black Hawk studio, which was Lee Perry's studio, we have to have that. Anything will come out of Tubby's, we have to have that, you know. And growing up with the bands, with the youth band them, seeing was the greatest apprenticeship I could ever get in music, because just playing with live music with musicians and thing, and all of us learning at the same time, you know, because we never just come in it like that and have it. You know, we learn, and we learn from the great ones. So therefore, it's like, say, when you talk about the intro of that song there, and I can tell you something about it, when the middle of that song, when the intro come back again in the middle of that song there, it was only supposed to be 4 bars. And if you listen, the drummer actually lit the cymbal for us to go back into the tune, but the rest of man them never moved. The rest of musicians them stayed on that. But we supposed to come out of that 4 bars, so it played for another 4 bars before I could start the singing again.
So what do you think happened? Why did the musicians stay there? What happened?
Well, the vibes were so great. The vibes so great at the time, you know. Every man play, but you know, it turned out to be
Perfect.
Yeah,
Perfect.
it turned out to be the right thing, you
It
know,
is
because
perfectly the right thing, you know.
that's the way the tune play and that's the way it happened. And we always say, well, boy, I saw the father say it for go, you know.
So this next tune, I've been listening to it. I've been listening to it for ages, long before I even knew that it was you that sang it. Because in the olden days, I used to just listen to music that I liked, and from day dot, I've really been a roots woman, you know.
Yeah.
So this tune, I Shaka used to play, and I've just heard it for a long time, and it was only about, say, 3 years ago when you were at Passing Clouds.
Yeah. yeah.
And it's like, I'm seeing you for the first time on stage, and I'm hearing all these tunes that I've been listening to and skanking to at the dances. And I'm thinking, what? I was just amazed. I was there with Poser Blessed. Poser, remember? Passing Clouds with Asante Amen and the sister Casey Pearl.
Casey Pearl.
That was a wonderful evening. I was only going to support Asante Amen, who, by the way, is coming to the studio in a few weeks' time. But I got this additional bonus, which was yourself, like exploring. Anyway, no, don't want to talk too much about it. This tune, I'm sure everyone else would appreciate, especially those of us roots lovers. Here we go. Again, another tune with an amazing bass line and introduction. Dun, 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 dun. Tell me about that one.
Yeah, you know, just this song also is like I wrote the song and we just went into the studio and we just lick up the rhythm for you. In the studio, we never rehearsed it or anything. It's just a song that I wrote, and you know. But every song is a message, really, you know. And it was at the time it was because I had sung like the Good Morning and a few other songs, you know, before this song here. Some of my bridging them start talk about because I call me superstar and all them things. I don't like them things. I never like them things. So I tell them, say, I don't really know superstar, you know, and if a man look on them things, you know, I say, well, boy, it's like a man will get caught in a Babylon trap when I look on the thing in a certain light. So, me just say, and plus, them days the man behave themselves, whole heap of things, and so I just sing and say, well boy, who's going to get caught in a Babylon trap, you know? Because right now, I've got my stepping shoes, I'm going to listen to a reggae, you know, reggae tune, so I'm going to deal with my reggae business and go and sing my song and, you know, go dance and have a good time and, you know, just live some life, you know. So I was just telling them, say, well, who's going to get caught? Not I and I.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of us took that tune very, very seriously.
Yeah, man, because this song, you know, when Jashaka start play this tune here and people start come and tell me, say, well, boy, Shaka, boss your tune, you know, man, Shaka, play your tune. And then one night, I went to, up in Yorkshire, I think it was Sheffield, did a show up there. And when I got back the next day, a man tell me, say, well, boy, you don't know, say, yo, the other night on Capital Radio, you know, man, a 4-piece of that tune the man them play upon Capital
Radio.
Yeah, man, upon Capital Radio. So them days I was already gone upon Capital Radio, you know. So and the tune just take off. And people come from Japan and tell me, say, well boy, you know, the tune and mash up Japan and them thing. You know, them days there.
Well, it's still an amazing tune now.
Yeah, you know.
So. Really, now everything feels fresh. It doesn't feel as if it's old. Nothing feels dated. It just feels as if you play it now, if I play that now, I know that everyone's going to enjoy it, you know?
Yeah, man, because, you know, the main thing about the music is that if you make the music the right way, you know, it will forever sound the right way. You know, like, we used to listen to Bob Marley them and Wailers them a lot. And if you listen to any Wailers song now from 19 when, it sounds just as sweet as from then. So
that's true.
There again, same thing I say about the teaching and the learning. You know, we learn from the great ones them, and we learn how to make music. Man, tell you something, we got to a dance about a couple of weeks back and was Channel 1 playing another dance and him play a tune. And I said to myself, boy, this tune, a long time in a year a tune was sound so wonderful of everything, quality, style, originality, you know. So I went over to him and I said, well, boy, who that tune there? And him said, Jerry Lyons. No,
yes.
I know Jerry Lyons. We worked together from 1990s. And we even worked together before that, you know. But we worked together on some music, some of my music. Jerry Lyons worked with me. See? And I said to Channel 1, even before him tell me, say, Jerry Lyons make the rhythm, I said to him, say, well, you see whoever make this rhythm here is a man who there in the business for a long time, a foundation man. See? And then him said to me, Jerry Lyons. I say, yeah, man.
See.
Because, you know, as a musician, who are a singer artist, man in the business, who there in the business for years, you know, you hear certain things where it's not often you hear them things nowadays. Because everything has changed with the computer and the little home studio them and thing, where a man just go in and him just draw 2 cards and him just loop that and, you know, and that is a tune and, see, but when making music, you know, the greatest music them is made by musicians, singers, players of instruments. The greatest music is made by them. Because when you have a man, if you have one man and him make a tune and him keep on make tune, after a while for him tune them all of them sound the same or them have a same flavor, you can say, well boy, it's that. But you bring in musician in the thing, from you bring in musician in the thing, musician have real vibe, them are real people. See? So therefore when you bring in the musician them in the thing now, you get it's like a chain, a link.
Can I ask you a question? Just move, like a lot of the artists, I find, no disrespect to anyone, but I find a lot of them have a very similar way of singing, and usually it's kind of like shouting. It's not really like going deep into their belly to bring out a special voice that's uniquely theirs. So I find it's very hard to distinguish who's who these days. I don't know if you've noticed that.
Yes, and a lot of things you find that, you know, you find a lot of the singers them, the younger singers them are come up, you know, you call them X Factor voice. Because you see with the X Factor, you have to sound that way there and you have to look that way there to get through. See? So a lot of the youth them now, they might follow that thing there and go and think that is real singing.
Yes, not
see?
them.
But it's like you're throwing away your good mango for one little artificial mango.
Like in the tin.
Yeah, like you throw away the real mango and then you go buy a tin. See?
That's sad, and that is really what's happening.
Where
I feel.
we, the way we sing, see? We sing with a full-bodied voice. It's like a circle, you know what I mean? You have the top of the you know, everything. So you have to sing the full thing. You have supposed to use all the 3 parts of your voice.
And put your heart into it as well.
Yeah,
and we're supposed to be able to feel that.
And a lot of singers now, them tend to sing from them nostrils. Instead of sing from them belly and make it come out through them mouth, through them throat. They must sing from them nostrils. So you hear a lot of singers and they must sing see, and that are not
That's
singing.
kind of how it sounds.
That are not singing.
Or they're just
see?
shouting.
And even the shouting thing, and sometimes, you know, you need to feel. You need to make the people feel where you are singing.
Yeah.
You know?
How I judge a singer myself is if they make me feel like I want to either cry or laugh or do something, then I know they're good. If I don't feel any emotion, yeah, it's hard for me to connect with it, really. I'm quite fussy.
Singing, you know, people supposed to feel, when you are singing, people supposed to feel that vibration.
Let's listen to this one. This next one, because we can talk about this all day, can't we?
Yeah.
But this next one, I find it what one might describe as tongue-in-cheek. That's an expression where it's like you're teasing people with this tune, because it's like, well, you know, you can't, for a start, you can't put it into a category. You can't put it. It's kind of lovers, but it's kind of a roots, and it's kind of everything. You know the one I'm talking about. Like, when you hit, and it's like, you know, what is it? I want to really know about this tune. But anyway, let's hear it.
Yeah, man, this is one of my biggest songs worldwide.
Run that again. Because you have to hear the beginning. Any category.
I don't know about tongue and cheek.
you're serious or not. Come on, like the TV. Come on, cheek.
When you see my eyes red, don't think I'm crying. Cause I ain't been, I've been burning. Burning in my eyes. She's got to be crazy. She must be mad, definitely crazy. To take the time, gonna shed a little tear.
But I said it.
Gonna shed a little
I said it.
out the girl.
I said I've been burning. Burning.
But then you also talk about a girl that.
So when you see my eyes red,
So, were you burning? Were you really crying? But that's what you're talking about. But were you really?
I ain't been shedding no. Burning in the Rizla, burning hour, burning sunset, yeah, burning, burning in the Rizla, burning wawa, burning sunset, I've been burning.
We've been debating. I'm asking Vivian, were you really burning or were you really crying? You know, you told us that you were burning, but were you? I think you were crying.
No, sir.
I bet you were.
No, sir. We don't tell us straight already. See, I've been burning in Arizona. And I tell us, I ain't been crying, and you see my eyes red, you know. So, you know.
So why did you say it then? Who said? Did someone say you were crying?
Well, maybe somebody thinks that I was crying, but I never cried.
We don't believe you.
Well, believe is a funny thing, you know. Better to know.
Yeah, okay. I love that tune though because it always brings that debate in my head.
Yeah, man, this is one of my most popular tunes worldwide. This song. Anywhere I go in the world, people know this song. You know, so yeah, man, big tune. You dance it.
Yeah, we love that tune, and the dub wise is beautiful as always. And people that know my show know I'd love to play the dub wise, but today we're in a hurry to get through as many as we can. And I have got, what have I got next lined up? This one. Happy for me to play this one next? Do you remember this one? Or I can jump, in fact I may be able to play this one.
I don't think I have a song with that title. What's the name of that song?
Okay, well...
What's the name of that song?
It's called Nothing in This World. Let's all discover this together.
Yeah, maybe it's not a Vivian Jones though.
It is a Vivian Jones, but it's just me that probably wrote the wrong title.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Pull up that tune.
Huh?
Pull up that tune. Pull up that tune. A lot of people are going to be very sad that you got the title of this song wrong.
Oopsie daisy.
This is one big, massive song.
What is it really called then?
This song is called Mighty Love.
Oh, Mighty Love. Sorry, everybody.
And especially the people that in North West London.
Sorry.
Some of the people that in Birmingham.
I'll correct that.
Yeah, that's a great.
You know, I just
Love.
heard it, but the track didn't have the name, so I had to give it a name so at least I can recognise it.
Yeah, man. Mighty Love.
Sorry, Mighty Love, everyone.
Yeah, man. Don't get it wrong again.
No, I
please.
won't. So, I stand corrected. Okay, here it is.
I know I never had a tune with that title.
In my mighty love, will you get some true, baby? And all that I want is just to do for you.
Massive collector song.
In my
Anybody else
mighty
is someone
love,
selling
will you
their
get some true, baby? And all that I want is just my mind and my soul, so why? And you're just that thing I need to make me complete. Cause when you walk beside me, babe, I'm a king. And don't you know, my lady, you're my queen. And nothing in this world could ever make me stop from loving you. And nothing in this world could ever make me stop from loving you.
That's not with me and Rush. That's not with me and Rush. There's only one song on there with me and Rush. One day.
I love you always. I'll never let them change my mind. No matter how they try. Cause you're just that thing I need to make me complete.
Just one song.
Cause when you walk beside me, babe, I'm a king. And don't you
One
know,
song with me
my
and Rush. And all the
lady,
rest is
you're
my
my
song
queen.
or Shanti Amen.
And nothing in this world could ever make me stop from loving you. And nothing in this world could ever make me stop from loving you. Alright. Yeah. I'm glad. Yeah. A mother told me, she said, son, please beware. There's a thing called love and hands.
We're going to go straight to the next one, and Vivian's going to tell us what it's called once it starts.
Jones again, man. Jones again, man. And there's a famine on the land.
Bring the sense to come.
It's not in
Bring the sense to
Ethiopia.
come. Yeah, man. Pull on that tune, man. Yeah, man. Original tune, this, you know. Original Vivian Jones tune.
So it's called Bring the Sense You Come.
Yeah, man. Bring the sense to come.
Okay. Here.
And this is exclusive play, you know.
Jones again,
It's the
man.
release
Jones
here.
again, man.
Soon forward. This soon forward.
There's a famine on the land. Famine on the land. It's not in Ethiopia. Not over there in sweet and Irish Jamaica.
Legal.
Not even in America. Something's going wrong in London town. And here you're surrounding all about. Check over north, them say no one. Check over south, them say no they bow. Check over east, say we want to be feast. And over west, them say we have the best. Bring your sense to go. Bring your sense to go. I want it right now. Can't take this famine. Bring your sense to go. Bring your sense to go. Keys are bound, or even a house. I know Mr. Charlie's alright. Nothing, enough. Black Ash, you're doing real fine. Easy, Black Ash. Baby, the man over there popping some pills for trails. Nothing I'm going about ya. Check over north, them say no one. Check over south, them say no they bow. Check over east, them say we want a feast. And over west, them say we are the best. Bring your sensico. Bring your sensico. Legal at Jamaica. A time now, sir. Bring your sexy clothes. Bring your sexy clothes. Keys or pounds, or even a house. Chop.
So, Bring Me Sense You Come. So this is more of an up-to-date one. Tell us a bit more about this one.
Yeah, man, this is right up to date. This tune hasn't been released yet. You know, even though we recorded it at least 2 years now, it's still no release yet.
So is this the first time it's being played?
Yeah, from on radio. That's on radio because, you know, there's only a couple of people I know who have this tune here, a couple sound system on them, you know. So, at the first time on radio, this I think. So,
well, that's
yeah,
good to know.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good to know. So, what was your motivation in writing that one?
Yeah, man, because, you know, I was in London one time and we can't get no good weed, so, you know what I mean? Well, decided to just have a voice a tune and say, well, make some man hear me I sing a tune, say, bring the sense come and hope, so then bring it come, you know?
Was it like a complaint, really? Protest?
Yeah, man, protest, yeah, you know? Protest, yeah.
And this next one, which is also quite up-to-date one, Father Bless Me. Oh, I've done it again, haven't I?
Yeah.
Okay, listen to it and then you can tell us what its actual name is.
Got to hold your faith, man. Got to hold your faith.
Also exclusive again.
Got to hold your faith.
Pull it up and tell you why. Make the people them hear. Make the people them hear what I say, man. This song called Nah Move.
Oh.
Nah Move. N-A-A Move. See? And this song here, this vibe come to me while I was in Johannesburg, South Africa. And reasoning with one of the elder musicians them over there. And, you know, he's saying some great things to me. You know, real educational lesson I get that day there. And one of the things what he said to me, he said that the trouble with man is that man lose faith in the Almighty One. So when a man lose faith in the Almighty One, him thinks that it's him. Everything is him. You know? Like I said, there's no one above him, it's just him. And this was the kind of reason I was getting from the brother. So this was where I get the vibes from, you know, and I came back to London and I record this song.
Wow, yeah, let's just hear it.
Yeah, man.
Got to hold your faith, man. Got to hold your faith, man. Got to hold your faith, man. I feel a little better now that I have prayed. Give thanks for another day. Father, bless me on my way. And sometimes it feels like we're living in a rap. It's just death and war and death and more war. Oh, wise African see, you see the trouble with a man. He loses faith in the Holy One. Foundation say him now move. No, him now go move. No, cause he's been here since day one. No, him now move. No, him now go move. Cause he's been here since day one. Number one. And now you want to come school me. And then you don't even reach me. Black as I am. yeah, yeah. I'm your foundation.
Wow.
Designer made and cosmetic countries a mashup. As an African living in the West, no, it can't be best. Sometimes it feels like we're living in Iraq, yeah. It's just war and death and war and more war. Foundation saying now move, no, now go move. Cause it's been here since day one, number one. Oh no, we now move. Foundation saying now move. Cause he's been here since day one. I'm on, yeah. Got to hold your faith, man. Got to hold your faith, man. Got to hold your, you got to hold your. I feel a little better now that I have breathed. I give thanks for another day, yeah. Father bless me on my way. And sometimes it feels like we're living in Iraq, yeah. It's just death and war and death and more war. Oh, as Africans say, yeah, you see the trouble with a man. Oh, he loses faith in the Holy One. That's why we now move. No, we can't go more. Cause we've been here since day one, number one. Foundation says we now move. Oh no, we can't go more. And cause we've been here since the Rasters, day one. Oh no, we now go more. No, we can't go more. Yes, we've been here since day one, number one. We now go move. No, we can't go more. It's been here since day one, day one. Oh no, we now go move. No, we can't go move. No. We've been here since day one, day one.
Yeah, man. Big up Kenny A. Jill on that tune, you see? Yeah, man, I'm bridging Kenny A. Jill and him. Lick that rhythm and make we voice it. Big things. Yeah, man, respect.
So it's quite emotional, that tune. It just brings out a feeling of, when we talk about having faith,
Yeah.
it's personal, but it's deep, because as we go through a lot of challenges every day in this life, we hear a lot of negative things, and yet we keep on going.
Yeah, man.
So that's a tune to give us a lot of power.
Yeah, because you see, with me, I love to hear this song here because it brings such joy to me personally, just, because I remember the feeling from Johannesburg to London to recording the tune. I feel a vibration there, and every time I hear the tune, I remember the bridging, and also this tune here is the rhythm for this is one of Wailing Soul tune. See, and I remember as a youth growing up and listening to that tune there, seeing that tune there filled me with so much joy,
tune,
so it was a great pleasure to voice this and thing, man. And even when I listen to it, I said, I feel a little better now that I have prayed, give thanks for another day. Them kind of things there, Yeah, so even when the listeners out there, them are listen to the tune, them, and they get that wonderful feeling, please remember that I also get that wonderful feeling too, even though I me sing the tune and me write the tune. I also get that wonderful feeling to something to lift me up, lift up my day, with all what go on, And it's as I said, foundation said, we now move because we've been here since day one. See, I don't know who or which nation was here before my nation, but He knows me there from day one.
And it's something for us to really remember.
Yeah,
Because I think sometimes we forget, we think we're behind everything and everyone.
That's right.
But it's not true.
Real talk, that.
So this next one, I'm just going to play it and you're going to tell us what it is.
By the way, I hope you know there's some exclusive you play right now.
I'm really very honoured.
Alright.
And I'm sure the listeners are too.
Cool. Yeah, man, it's good.
Give
because,
thanks.
you know,
Oh, by the way, this is realmusicfm.com.
yeah.
And we're on the Roots Feast music show. And right now in the studio we have Vivian Jones. And my name's Sister Nkechi the WarriorQueen. And it gives me great pleasure to be here with you tonight.
Yeah, man, said way, because, you know, I listen to you and you play some great music, let me tell you that. You play some great music. When I listen and I hear certain tune, I say, whoa, who ain't find all that tune and how come you a play that tune and some man out the road up on big sound and thing and them now play them tune.
If I had a sound, I'd be, wow.
Yeah, man, I would have come and dance.
Anyone wants to help me build one, yes, I'm up for it.
Yeah, you know?
Anyway, this one.
This one is called Sunshine Garden.
I love the way it starts, listen.
Yeah, and this is one of the a more recent one, you know. I sing about my sunshine garden in my yard.
Beauty of this world, beauty of this world, hey. Love is the biggest tree you will see. I said, in the sunshine garden, in my garden.
You see what I'm saying?
Justice is always in bloom. All season, for all reasons. In the garden, in the garden, this is the lily, so beautiful, all shapes, color and size. In the garden, war is a bush that we cut and burn. Anywhere it grows, anywhere it grows. In the garden. It is a garbage, we don't need it around. The joke there come,
But you know,
the joke
the
there
release one,
come.
then I run out of time, you know.
Read and Netflix, and some mock-up we go, make them wrong. So-called beer and rasta, shut them down.
Run them out, straight to
We have to share. And I know that some don't care. And there's no solution. Confusion. It's like a merry-go-round. Go round and round. Round and round. I'm round and round. If I walk in the sunshine garden, in my garden.
Banking on that.
In the sunshine garden, in the garden,
Pick up the next one.
red fruit in the garden, banana, blueberry, mango, orange, papa, the one fruit island,
One day.
so what's that sweet stuff, avocado, yam, now forget the year, now get hungry or some, take a walk in the sunshine garden.
So how would you like to explain that beautiful song, Take a Walk in My Sunshine Garden?
Yeah, man, and the sunshine garden, you hear me say that love is the biggest tree in the garden. Me say hate is the garbage, And we don't need that around. See the
Throw
chuck.
that away.
See the chuck there come. They say greed and envy. There's some maca bush we grow. And I say maca bush always grow and it run. So I say, well boy, make it run because I soon call my brethren Beer and Rasta to come chop them down. You know? So
That's so deep.
I'm talking about life in as in the garden.
So using the analogy of the garden to as a metaphor for life.
That's right. You know?
That's I'm gonna have to listen to that several times over. I'm sure each time you listen to it, you'll get more and more from it.
Yeah, man.
It's one of those kind of tunes.
That's right. You know, it's not no little thing. It's that. It's just
These
a
tunes are amazing.
deep meditation.
Seriously.
You know? Deep meditation.
It's just so wonderful to just. I hope we get some extra time because there's still a lot of tunes. Out of this, this is another one called One Day.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a combination tune. 3 artists on this. Vivian Jones, Rush Sherby, and a young DJ named Slew Them. And you know, I always like for bringing the youths them into the business, you know. So because we the elder ones, we're not going to be here forever, and we don't like the works to carry on, you know. So every time we bring in the youth, you know, bring them in and show them things and, you know, work with them. And some of them are very clever and know things as well. So we, the elder one, can learn from them.
They do, some of the youngsters, you know.
Right. So therefore, you know, I love for bringing the youth them, and them youth here, them ask me to come do something with them, and I say, yeah, all right.
Yes.
Come in and go in and do it. And this is what we come up with. The song is called One Day, you know.
Okay.
First time on radio, by the way, you know, this tune here.
We are very lucky today, Real Music FM listeners.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yes, she had the lioness, they just can't tame. Can't come trick her with the rebellious kind. Yes, she had the lioness, they just can't conquer. Standing firm like the Lion of Judah. Empress Nkechi, the warrior queen.
Yes, that was Russ Sherby, who also played on this, yeah?
Yeah, Russ Sherby and Slew Them.
Do you think he might be listening, Russ Sherby?
Who knows?
Well, I'd like to give thanks for your jingles,
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
He gave them to you, isn't it? And you brought them to me, so give thanks. So now we've played some older ones, young ones. We've played bang up to date that's not even been released ones, but we've also now come to the section of time, and I really do hope we get an extension because there's just so much that has been released in the last, say, 2 years.
That's right.
Going back to beginning of last year, 2016, we had Truly, which we played on Monday. So hopefully if you listened on Monday, you've got a little dose of that. But we also got Carry On, which I think is just one of the most amazing tunes. I remember you singing it at the Jenna for us.
Yeah, man, Carry
On. It was
On.
a special Ethiopian Christmas dance down at, where were we? We were down at the Caribbean Edge.
That's right.
And you just went up and sung that, and it was like, wow.
Yeah, man, Carry On is my mother's song. My late mother's song. This was what she said to me before she left me. And then she left me with this, and she said, you must carry on doing what you're doing, you know. And from that, I write the song, you know. So everything in this song is for me personally. And I want to say that give thanks to all the people worldwide who have contacted me and said some special things about this song here. See? Meaning that saying things like, you know, it helped them through times, rough times, tough times that they've been going through, you know. And this song has helped me go through some tough times too. So it's great when I can sing a song that other people can relate to and can help them out of them struggle and the toughness in their life.
Yeah, because the message is very simple. Carry on.
Yeah,
you know,
man.
you can't. Sometimes you go through things and it turns into a big drama in your head, and you think it's the end of the world, and then you just think, carry on.
Yeah, man, carry
Anything?
on.
Okay, I will. That's the simple answer to that. Carry on.
Yeah.
Okay, I will. All right, so we're going to play this tune and give thanks to AB Creation. He's given us an extra 15 minutes, so we have half an hour instead of just 15 minutes left.
Okay.
So give thanks, management, for the time and your energy, and also AB Creation's up after this show, continuing with the Roots vibration. So anyway, carry on. Here it is.
Carry on, carry on, yeah. Carry on, yeah. From your presence last year, the Babylon, we never stop trying. Carry on.
Okay, I will.
Carry on, yeah. And so my laugh when I'm on top. Yes, you know I can walk the walk. Carry on. Carry on, yeah. Enough out there are deserving though. Carry on. Carry on, yeah. Yes, they put up the rent again. To this your system, there's just no end. Carry on. Carry on, yeah. Trevor team left we on board. One thing we can do, I know. Carry on. Carry on, yeah. The boss man say today's the day. From tomorrow, no work, no day. Just carry on. Carry on, yeah. One day, oh one day, I know there'll be a better day. One day, oh one day, I know there'll be a better day. Carry on. Carry on, yeah. A good friend called me, she's got tears in her eyes. This said no make sense that you cry. Carry on. Carry on, yeah. Princeton say no money now road. Try your best, no make it mash you do. Carry on. Carry on, yeah. Carry on, yeah. Carry on, yeah. Cancer take mama away. It was a very, very sad day. Carry on. She said, carry on, yeah. Yesterday, my show can. No, we can't go too far. Carry on. Carry on. One day, oh one day, I know there'll be a better day. One day, oh one day, I know there'll be a better day.
Showing up. Real Music FM. Yeah, man, just keep it locked and keep the thing moving. A rush we represent. Jallo.
Yeah.
Ancient flow, flow, flow. Ancient flow, flow, flow.
Ancient blood.
See, I am tired forward with the ancient flow. Ancient flow. Yes, I am tired forward with the ancient flow. Ancient flow. Lord of King Solomon. Queen of Sheba, Melanic the first with the ark. The ark of the covenant. Emperor and King of Ethiopia. Italia, the victory Ethiopia, Abasenia, Addis Ababa, talking about the Kunda. Push, 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 push. See, I am tired forward with the ancient flow. Yes, I am tired forward with the ancient flow. Ancient flow. Walking through the fields of Ferrari, frankincense elevating I senses. Keep reading more. Better they have to climb up the road. It's older than old. Say, ancient blood, blood, blood. Ancient blood, blood, blood. Say warrior queen a forward with the ancient blood. Ancient blood. Yes, warrior queen a forward with the ancient blood. Ancient blood. Blood of King Solomon, Queen of Sheba, Melanic the first with the ark of the covenant, Emperor and King of Ethiopia, Solomonic dynasty, warrior queen, Etenawe, Demet Eritrea, talking about the Tegra, a kingdom of Aksum, and me say kush, 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 kush. See warrior queen a forward with the ancient blow. Ancient blow. Yes, warrior.
Yes, and I'd like to give thanks to you for that one.
Yeah, man, nice one. Nice one.
I really love that one. I often use that one to start my show as like a signature introduction to my show. So give thanks for your time and
man,
efforts.
Good vibes.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that for a while.
Yeah. I think you just did it and then sent it and then that was it.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So that one, Carry On, that was the beginning. There was also Truly, which I'm not going to do today due to time. But how many other tunes were there? 2016, it seemed like a really busy time and year.
Yeah, man.
And a lot of really good and big music came out from you. What else was there?
Yeah, man. There was, that was like, it was also Who's Gonna Get Caught, the real liquor that Who's Gonna Get Caught, and Ancient Blood, Carry On, Truly, and they all did very, very well for us, it just bring the thing to a different stage,
In what way?
Well, the music business kind of changed on from when it was the 80s or the 70s, 80s. The music thing changed on. So you find that when the music business changed up and you find that we have this whole heap of CD instead of vinyl, and people would just take the CD them and go burn them, and musician and artists, everybody suffer. The industry, record shop closed down and pressing plant, everything.
Yes, that's true.
So the thing about it is that this is a new era for the thing, wherein vinyl records is on the up again. A lot of people are buying vinyl records now, so
nothing like them.
That's right. So it's great. So we putting out them tunes there in 2016, and they done very well for us. Better than what was happening before.
So who was buying it? Was it sound people, radio DJs, or was it actual individuals that went out and bought the turntables and played them as well?
Yeah, man, individuals, man, because it's not every song going to go buy a tune. It's the people them that are buying the tunes, and you find that in the UK, I wouldn't say a lot of people buying vinyl like they used to one time. But you find, say, in Europe, other places in Europe, Japan, America, some places you go in America, them don't want to see no CD. You know, and it's the same with certain places you go in Europe, and man, we tell us, yo, we don't play no CD, you know, we don't play no CD, you know, strict vinyl, you know, and that is a great thing because the greatest format of the music, you know, is vinyl. You know, vinyl lasts forever.
Yeah, and it also it sounds kind of heavier and deeper when you play it compared to a CD. I mean, I'm prepared to spend some money on vinyls. Sometimes I've spent probably too much money, but if I want a tune, I'll get it, you know?
Yeah, man. Well, you know, vinyl are the real thing because the CD is a compressed thing, you know, so everything kind of compressed into one, you know? Where in the vinyl, you know, is the grooves, you know, and 7-inch, 12-inch, 10-inch, you know, as long as you don't put too much music on the vinyl, you know, overdo it, the vinyl will always sound crisp. You
know? So, anyway, 15 minutes. Give thanks for the 15 minutes because we would have had to be closing now. So let's just make the most of it.
Yeah.
So, bang up to date. I think it came out, is it this week?
Last week.
Last week,
yeah.
Right? Even though on Real Music FM, I think we were one of the first to hear it, weren't we?
Yeah, you played it like it was recorded the Tuesday and you played it on the Wednesday.
On the Wednesday. Got it on the Wednesday and I played it on the Wednesday. It was amazing because it was a really, as we know, I'm sure you all know what we're talking about because you've heard it here many times.
Yeah.
But I played it often, every single time I was on, and I still, even up to the other day, I played it because it's about the Grenfell fire, this one called Fire. As we know, it was a very tragic and traumatic event that took place in West London, and all of us felt it. Can you tell us, you know, how you felt about it, and why you played this, why you wrote and brought this tune about?
Yeah, well, this tune here is like, you see, if a man step on your toe, you will feel it instant, especially if we are a size 20 and him step on your little size 7. You're going to feel it, and it's like an instant reaction. You know, I really feel for these people, the people who lose their life, and the ones who survive, and they want them going to be traumatized for the rest of their life. Seeing things like that, and the way that the government and the media them angle this thing, and the way them treat the people them, seeing, for me, is a total injustice, and I don't like injustice for no one, you know? I don't like it for myself, I don't like it for no one. And this is something where I feel very strongly about. It really touched my heart, and it kind of hurt me because I've never experienced nothing like that before. Even just by watching it on the TV, real time when it was happening, I never seen nothing like that in my life. And I never feel, because I knew just by watching it that most of the people in that building will not survive. Seeing?
Yeah, I mean, it says that at the time they said only 18, but 80, but I'm sure there was much more. I think they just confirmed another 2 the other day, but I'm sure there's a lot more than just 80 people that died.
Well, sorry for the people them in Sierra Leone, you know. And if we can get together and do something like it, I don't know if anyone, the promoter them out there are listening, we can put together and get some artists together and make we go and do a nice show and see if we can collect some money and do something to help the people them in Sierra Leone. But if you watch the news, you know, you will notice that the news can tell you how much people die in Sierra Leone, but them can't tell you how much people die in a Grenfell Tower fire. But them can tell you how much people dead in Barcelona the other day. Them can always tell you that, but them cannot tell you how much people die in a Grenfell Tower.
I don't understand that.
So therefore, you know, this song, you know, yeah, I'm so glad I did this song, and give thanks to all the people them who you know, contact me and I say the same thing. You know, thanks for doing this song, and you know, and I want to tell you something. I've never experienced anything with a song of mine like this before, because I can tell you from the day that this song was played, that Wednesday night when you played this song here, from that day, right, I've had people contact me from Australia, New Zealand, Jamaica, America, all over Europe. People have contacted me for this song. So this song is not just because the thing happened in England and people in England gonna know about it. The world know about this. See, and the world contact me and ask me for this tune. Some of the selectors, them, I was surprised. I don't even know some of these selectors from worldwide. You know, and the greatest one was when the brother contacted me from New Zealand and, you know, wanted the song and things
the other
like
side
this.
of the world, yes.
So, you know, yeah,
Well,
man.
Review Music FM, we have listeners from all over the world. So we give thanks to all our listeners and for helping to spread the message and for the support that you're giving Real Music FM and this show, the Roots Feast. As you know, it's one of messages and love and positive vibrations. So we give thanks for that, you know?
Yeah, man. And give thanks again.
This tune is just history. If you listen to the words, it details everything, you know, from the date, the time. Let's just listen because time.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh gosh, oh gosh. Oh gosh. Oh gosh, oh gosh. Wednesday morning, 1:15, 14th of the 6th, the year is 17, 600 or more, in a Grenfell tower, living in a high-rise block. Oh, what a dead trap. Residents warned them. All they did was ignore them. The safety of people's life seems not important. 10 million just spent, and they no have no fire alarm. They no have no sprinkler. The out is your fire. Them on fire. Fireman can't hold this fire. Them can't reach the top. Fire, I know it about fire. This a fire non done. This a the worst disaster London has ever seen. Little babies and children, parents and families. You see the queen and her grandson, but the PM cut and run. When she see the people are come, them say failure to protect your lives. Failure, and I tell your lives. Failure of the survivors. Failure, look how much people die. Fire, people jumping out of window. Fire, throwing their babies before. Fire, even from the 12th floor. Fire, I know it about. This is a national emergency. Where is the Red Cross? Where is the Oxfam? Maybe we are just not important. Them have the media on stream, and then we say anything. Pick up the volunteers. Shows how people care. So much food, water and clothes, but there's no one to give it to. People dead. Heard this before. People dead. Possibly people dead. I've heard this before. People dead. Murderers. Studies on their shoulder. Murderer. Murderer. Studies on their shoulder. Oh gosh. Fire. People jumping out of window. Fire. From the 12th floor. Fire. Throwing their children before. Fire. This is fire now done. Fire. Hear the people bawl out. Fire. Hear the children cry. Fire. Oh gosh, oh gosh. Fire.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Big show.
That one.
Give thanks.
That one. Give thanks. Give thanks.
Yeah, man. For all the people, all the suffering people.
Yes, and our
What a
love
great
goes out to all
victory,
those who have suffered in that particular fire, but also all the suffering around the world. You know, your hearts are with you.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So, we're coming to the end, but we're going to have to play at least 2 more tunes. Where's it gone? This wonderful album. Let's put it the right way up. It is the right way up. Yeah, man. I really, it's so wonderful. If you haven't bought it already, you need to get it because it's just complete. Everything. And due to lack of time, really, I should have played everything, but I don't know. Vivian Jones, you're going to have to come into the studio again, please.
Yeah, man, that can do. That can work, you know.
But for now, we're going to play the title track, and because it's the month of Marcus Garvey, I hope to play the Mosiah Garvey one as well.
Yeah, man.
Yeah? So which one shall I play first?
Yeah, for the king, you know.
Okay, let's go for this one first, and then we'll finish off the show with Marcus Mosiah Garvey.
Yeah, man.
We give thanks to all the beautiful listeners, everything for your support and everything else.
Yeah, man. Thank you very much for some of the wonderful comments you've been sending through.
Yeah, we haven't been able to respond today. So much, you know, to think about, you know, when there's someone in the studio. But give thanks. We see you. We see you.
Man. Thank you, all of you. Thank you.
Okay. Well, there's still about a third of that to go, plus the dubwise, but, you know, we're going to have to just cut that one, because I'd like you to tell us a little bit about that before we put the final one on.
Yeah, man. Ethiopian king, you know, just giving thanks and praise to the king for all the wonderful things that he's done for I and I. Seeing? Just give thanks, but my Rana, as me say, my Rana won't come threaten me. Yeah, that was a young lady from Israel, and we had some argument on the Facebook, you know, about
Facebook.
yeah, the history of Africa and the history of Israel, and so, you know, I just have to make her know, say, well, boy, when you talk to me, 400,000 years I can tell about the African history, you know. But how much years you can tell me about, you know? So, and that was it, and then it reached all a stage where she started threatening me and all them things there, so. Yeah, man, that's something just sing the tune.
Yeah, but people are always trying to change our history and make it what it wasn't.
Yeah,
what
but
it
you know what I
isn't.
mean, when them talk and them history them talk about, them not talk about our history. See?
Yeah, and they think they can tell us our history.
That's right. So,
But that's another big debate. Maybe we can come on and just talk about those things one day.
Well, I don't work with that.
Right, okay. So the final one we're going to use to sign out is Marcus Mosiah Garvey. So tell the listeners about that before we play it, and we're going to say good night after this.
Well, the great Marcus Garvey is the great one from Jamaica, you know. One of the great heroes, and Marcus Garvey enlightened the world. Enlightened enough countries in the world to get independence, you know, from them colonial master. Marcus Garvey did all of this, and a lot of people who, lot of countries who don't want to recognize Marcus Garvey, they never stand up and say nothing until they heard Marcus Garvey talking about freedom and truths and rights and, you know, people and them kind of things there. So Marcus Garvey stand up in my book. Great one.
Yes.
So, you know what I mean?
And we've really celebrated him this month.
Yeah, man.
Especially last week when it was his birthday. So we give
Before
thanks.
you bust the tune, let me just quickly say, give thanks, Nkechi, for having me here tonight. And also to all the listeners them out there. Real FM, saying?
Real Music
FM. Saying?
.com.
Yeah, .com. It's real anyway. So, big up on yourself and give thanks for all the comments, and, you know, couldn't even give you all the mention because the thing gets so busy, but such is life. You know, we love you said way, and hope you had a good time listening and tuning to and hearing some of the sounds of Vivian Jones from the beginning and right now to where we are today. So give thanks to the Father, and blessed love to all of you.
Yes, and I'd like to give thanks to the listeners as well for your time, your energy this Wednesday evening. You could have been doing anything, but you're here with us. So we give thanks for your time, and give thanks to AB for giving us some extra time. Give thanks to all the Real Music FM presenters, and give thanks Vivian Jones for being such a wonderful, wonderful, creative human. For us to share your I don't know, it just makes the planet a better place to know.
Give thanks.
Yeah. So Marcus Mosiah Garvey, I love this one, so I'm so glad to be able to play it before we sign out.
Born on the 17th of August 1887, St. Anne's Bay, Jamaica. He's the founder of the UNIA, United Negro Improvement Association. Oh, we need one now. Yes, we need one now. With 20 million members worldwide, still the biggest black movement is today. Showed us the way out of fear Marcus Garvey. Calling, I'm calling, calling, calling from the nations of days. Calling, calling Marcus Garvey. All nations would benefit now. Just take a look, computer or a book. It no matter where you look now. All you have to do is Google it. In case you never know these words of Marcus Garvey, come listen to this. He said, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. Number ourselves can free our mind. Yes. Calling, 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 Marcos, rise again. In the first year of Marcus Garvey Black Star Liner, $600,000 was raised. Marcus Garvey bought 3 ships with the intention of biennial repatriation. Slavery was an interruption. A biennial progression, yeah. Marcus Garvey come to break the bands of sunder and set the captive free. Marcos, 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 Messiah Garvey. Marcos, 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 Messiah Garvey.
Yes, give thanks, give thanks, give thanks, give thanks to all the listeners. Guidance and protection this night. Good night, give thanks, give thanks.